everybody doing today? We're back here with another Bronco video. As you can see, I've got it up in the air. We're going to look at this front fender right here on the passenger side. We've got a little bit of rotten decay in the bottom of the fender, which is not uncommon for these trucks. It doesn't look terrible yet, but we hadn't sanded the paint off. We're going to do that today. Let me get you in here so you can take a look at it. Yeah, and you can see here this bubbling. There's rust in behind that. There's a hole started right here. Yeah, the inside lip though looks good. There's no issue there, and there's no issue right up under this. There's a split crack right there, so we're hoping that this maybe can be converted here. Maybe it's not. It don't feel like it's all the way through, but like I said, we don't have the paint off of it. So let's go ahead and grind this paint off and see what we're facing right here. This by far is the worst spot left on the truck, so I want to go ahead and address it and get it out of the way, hoping that we don't have to do. Now this right here, this is a bend right here. I'm just glad it's not into the body line up here. So maybe we can save it right in here, and we can only have to replace maybe a small section here. But yeah, enough gabbing. Let's get that paint grinded off there and see what it looks like. Alright, grinded that off. That hole didn't open up anymore. It's pretty much stayed the same size, but it looks like somebody may have been here before. There's a patch in here, right here. And as you can see how it's welded in there, it's not, there's a lip right here. This hole, still roughly the same size. I was worried that once you start grinding it out that it would open up, and up here where the paint was bubbled, you can see that's okay too. There was some rust there. I cleaned it out. So going forward, we may end up cutting this patch out right here. Somebody, I swear somebody's done this. I mean, of course you can't never be sure of anything, but this looks like somebody's been in here and done this. So I'm thinking that we probably cut along here and go to the body line here, and maybe take out back into here, and then put a whole piece in of metal and weld it. And we can butt to this body line. Should be pretty easy to butt to this body line right here and tack it in, and then weld it up, and she should be good. This metal here is a little rusty, but it's not really weak like you'll find in some of these really older cars. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up, and we'll cut this section out and see what we can do. Let's blow that out so we can have a look at it. Now I'm going to clean up the area around it where we're going to be welding. So I'll get my little die grinder here and clean that up. Got some significant bondo right here. Pretty thick. Alright, now you can really see what we're working with right here. We took a pretty good sized chunk out of it, but it is a fairly square size, so shouldn't be too bad. Come in here and weld this back in. I tried to get out as much of it as I could. Now you can see this piece right here to cut out. Somebody patched that right there is what it looks like. I wanted to go ahead and just take it out too and then just fix it all at one time. We'll use that piece for our template, and then like in this little crack right here, when I come through here and weld this new piece in, I'll just tack that up too. But yeah, pretty good sized piece, but I mean it don't look terrible. This in here is still sound and solid. It's rusty and I'll put some converter on it, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be terrible to fix. Alright, well now we've got that piece cut out, we'll take a look at it here and see how it fits. I did spray some rust converter on there and you can see it's actually starting to work now. So yeah, let me get this piece fitted in here and I'll show you what it looks like. Not too shabby at all. That looks a lot better. Now I did put my slight bend in right here where this kind of rolls. Let's see if I can get it on the side angle here and see if you can see. Yeah, it's pretty close. That's pretty close. I think that'll work. I don't even think that I'm gonna even trim it. I believe the gaps will be okay. I'll have to put a tack weld here and there and hold it into place, and then probably use my screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, to go across it while I'm tacking it to get it out flush everywhere and keep it in line. But I believe that right there is gonna be money right there. That's gonna work. So one thing going right anyway. because let me tell you, there's not a whole lot went right with this thing. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started on getting that tacked into place, maybe get it welded in, maybe call it a day, I don't know. I've got one other spot in the tailgate. It's not too bad, it's nowhere near as bad as that, so I'll have to get onto that. We may go ahead and cut it out today, I don't know. But yeah, moving forward, had a minor gas leak back here at the tank. Took care of it and I fixed it and cleaned the neck going all the way up, and some new clamps and stuff there with the new tank. Cleaned that neck out real good. It had some corrosion, rust and stuff to be expected inside it. Cleaned it, it's done. Had a small water leak up at the pump, one of the lines for the heat. Took care of it, it's done now. Put all new ground wires, because you seen that last, when we was trying to start this thing before, having all that trouble. It was ground wire issues we was having trouble with. So put all new grounds on it, took care of all that. So now all that's ready to go. It's just a process, it's just a time consuming process, and you gotta really like to do it. But hopefully here pretty soon we'll have body work be ready to get this thing into paint. And yeah. Alright, enough gabbing. Let me get on tacking that in. Well, I've got her tacked in now. So, and this may be where I leave it today, I don't know. But, I could have raised it up, but she's getting there. Look at the back. Yeah, this back, it's a pretty easy spot. It's flat. So we'll have to cut that out. I don't think I'll get to that today, but probably this week we'll cut that out and put a piece in there too. Well, I've got this about 75%, I guess, on this fender right here. Definitely a lot better than she was. A little piece. It took a little time there to get her in there, and you can see I've still got a few little pinholes and stuff there to fill in, but definitely looks a lot better. No rust there now. I did hit that inside with the rust converter to kill that rust and let it flash off, so it started turning black when I started actually putting the piece in. So that's good. That's one more thing off the list. Now it's on to the tailgate, and I have to come back up here. When I get the tailgate to about this same percentage, then we'll finish them both out, put a little primer, and then have to put a little filler in there to get it straight. But I mean, that looks a lot better than it did. My main agenda today will be sanding this body. Get a cover over the blanket here, or a cover over the blanket. We'll get a cover or a blanket over the engine to cover all that up, so we don't get sand and dust in there. And then yeah, it's just on to starting to get this body ready for paint. This body is straight, so don't really expect to find any more surprises in it. We've already done our patchwork here. However, I need to take at least this whole area down right here, so we can put some filler, because there is some pitting in the metal. We rust converted this, so we shouldn't have any rust issues there. And yeah, let me get that. I had sprayed this little bit of a primer on just so it could sit outside, while we were getting the engine fixed up at the machine shop. The passenger side, not near as bad. The passenger side is actually the best side here. Passenger side of the vehicle looks pretty good. We don't have a whole lot of delamination here. on the fender. You can see where the sun had started baking into this clear. And let's be honest, even it really don't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, 1980s was not a good time for clear coat, and a lot of these vehicles done this, especially Fords. All this right here is common on all these 80 model vehicles, if you know they haven't been repainted. So we're going to get all that sanded down. As far as the top's fiberglass. I'm gonna take the top off and probably Rhino line, Line X, some kind of undercoat in there, textured. I think will look good on this. So we'll take it off to do that. I really want to take it off and have it sitting here and the Bronco over there, paint the Bronco, set up kind of a makeshift paint booth like we did with the 48. Worked out really good. So I want to set up one of those and then probably just tape this whole section right here off with plastic and then spray this thing with the top off of it. We'll have the top here and the Bronco over there, then we could roll line this top right here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do it, I'm thinking I'm gonna do it, I want to roll it on. I've seen people do this before and never had the opportunity to do it. I kind of like the ideal. So yeah, I think that we do that. We roll it and see what happens. You know, if it don't turn out good, we can always sand it, you know, rough it down and spray it with a gun. Try to get, that's the main agenda today, folks, is just try to get this thing roughed off. My plans are probably start with a 220 grit, knock the whole truck down with 220, then come back over that with a 320, and out of that 320 probably, yeah, I don't know, maybe a 400, I don't know. With it being black makes me really nervous. So, and I know, because I know body guys, that shooting black is exquisitely hard. But like I said, we're gonna jump on this body probably next week in the afternoons, try to push an hour maybe after work in the afternoons and start really focusing on the frame also. I want to push this thing to paint in about 2 weeks. So that gives me 2 weekends, full body work, probably get everybody on board with this, helping out different times, coming in and out, special guest, probably Hot Rod Ted, the voice, the regulars, the norms around here will probably come in and out and help us on this. So yeah, enough of me gabbing. I've gabbed long enough this morning. Let's get on this thing. Ain't gonna get sanded with me standing here talking now, is it? All right, here we go, and I will show you. I'll break in here and there because I'm not going to bore you with 2 hours worth of sanding. So I'll break in and show you hot spots here or there, what we're doing here. So here we go. Let's get it done. Well, figured this was a good stopping point on this fender. Yeah, it looks really good. Smooth. You can see the metal in this fender. Absolutely amazing. It's really nice. Really nice. Very pleased with the way that this fender's looking. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about something here that I ran into. You see how this clear is coming off here? You can feel that, especially right in here with these little pits. You can feel all that. If you can feel it, you will see it when you paint. So the 220 wasn't cutting enough, so I had to go down another notch. I hated that. I really wanted to keep this at 220 and then go to 320, but is what it is. So dropped down to 100 grit. 100 seemed to take it out really good. Once I went over it with 100, I came back over it with the 220, really smoothed her up nice. Now when I hit this panel again with 320 and then probably a 400, it'll be laser smooth. So, kind of looks like snow flodge. Not bad. I am very pleased though. I have hit 0 Bondo, no Bondo, and 0 rust. This Bronco was actually in, as rough as it was in amazing condition. You know, these things are normally clapped out, rusted out, been run hard and put up wet, through the mud, fell in the creek, hit a tree, rusted out, fell apart. That's normally how you find these things. That's why I jumped on this one as soon as I knew the guy was going to sell it, because I knew that it was primarily a very good vehicle and very minimal rust vehicle. So I don't expect to find any surprises in the rest of this. This is a very long process. I don't like doing it. I have to force myself to do this. I don't like sanding these things down. But I've cleared off most of my whole day for this, and just going to have to chug through it, put our head down, and get her done. That's what we're doing today. Just brute force, I guess. Say the least. Forcing myself to sand this thing down so we can get it in paint. This is a huge step. If I could get this thing even 3/4 of the way sanded down today, man, we'll be in so much better shape going forward. Get this thing done in a few weeks. Looking super forward to driving this truck. I think it's going to be a blast to drive this thing. I think it's going to look good going down the road. I think it's going to be a head turner. But enough of me gabbing. Back to the sanding, I guess. Gonna be a long day like this, folks. Alright, we've got this side sanded down now. I'm doing pretty good. Just kind of give you an overview here of what it looks like sanded down. Now, there was some spots a little tougher than others, so I had to go down to 100 grit. And I went back up from 100 to 220. And then I'll step up to 320 after I get the whole thing sanded in 220. This was the roughest side. The other side's not going to be nowhere near as bad. Probably hit the other side, a whole side with 220, bust it with 320, and it should be good. But I did find a surprise right here. So I found a surprise right there, just some pinholing where some rust was actually starting. So we'll go ahead and cut that out, take care of that, or plug weld it, do something there. I did find one dent under where the trim ran here, and you'll see I have it traced out with a Sharpie. There's a dent right here we'll have to fix, and then of course, if you remember way back when I pulled this in the first time, we had these spots right here, and you can see where I welded those up. But we have a lot of this pitting in here where that water got trapped under the molding. Now it's solid, but it is pitted. I had sprayed this with rust converter and killed it way back then, so that's good. We're going to put a little filler there all the way down that side, shave it off, get it smooth and get it straight, and it should be fine. And then for the bottom down there where those little holes opened up, I'll probably plug all of those maybe today. I'm going to try to still get to that tailgate today also. Let's go around and take a look over here at the other side. The other side's not going to be near as bad as what that side was, because you could see that the sun had really took its toll on that other side. And on this side, you don't have anywhere near the delaminization, that's what they call it, delaminization of this clear. Delaminized. So I've got a little bit of that over here, but nowhere near as bad. This side's really good actually. The only thing over here that will probably be a headache is right here where the molding was, that glue. I got all that glue and stuff off. Now it looks like it has a silver stripe down the middle, but I assure you it does not. That glue, boy, woo, that glue is hard to get off. We've got a little rust issue right here I found that we're going to have to take care of, nothing major. But this side's really good, and it shouldn't take me too long to finish sanding it out. But that'll have to be for another day. So that's about all I'm gonna be able to get done today. So the next time, on the next video here, we will finish sanding this thing down and start in on the frame, and we've still got that rust back there in the back cut out. I didn't get to it either. This stuff just takes a long time. I mean, it just is what it is. It's time consuming. But hey, I appreciate y'all coming along with me, checking out what we're doing over here and everything. And yeah, next time hopefully we can finish sanding this thing out and get that rust welded in back there in the tailgate, and a couple of other spots we need to take care of it I found, but nothing major. So until next time, you guys have a good weekend. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe. That like button really helps us. I mean, it puts us out there to so many other people. So make sure you hit that like button. Check out our Facebook page. Got a lot of cool stuff going on there, Long and Low on Facebook. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.